You have been wounded. Someone you trusted, someone you respected, or perhaps someone you loved has treated your value as a secondary thought. And your first instinct, the primal, reactionary itch within your soul, is to strike back. You want to argue, you want to expose their lies, and you want to see them suffer as you have. But in this 59th chapter of our journey, we expose the revenge fallacy. In the chaotic landscape of 2026, noise is cheap. When you react to an injustice with anger, you are handing the perpetrator exactly what they crave, evidence of their power over you. Your emotional eruption is a tribute to their influence. Christopher is here to tell you that the most devastating retaliation is not a scream, but a cold, crystalline silence. It is the absolute withdrawal of your energy. We are shifting the paradigm from vengeance to vindication. If you want to break their ego, you must first stop letting them live rent-free in your mind. True revenge is not taking an eye for an eye, it is becoming so superior that you no longer care about the eye they took. The Matrix feeds on conflict. It wants you locked in a perpetual cycle of reaction and counter-reaction. This is how your focus is stolen and your sovereignty is bled dry. When you fight with a pig, you both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. In chapter 59, we initiate the elegance of indifference. We are moving beyond the petty squabbles of the ego and into the realm of psychological displacement. We are teaching you that your silence is a mirror that reflects their own inadequacy back at them. When they expect a confrontation and you provide only a void, they are forced to sit in the darkness of their own actions. By the end of this transmission, you will understand that the ultimate response to those who underestimated you is not a word spoken in anger, but a life lived with such excellence that their opinion becomes irrelevant. The blade of your silence is being sharpened today. We are not seeking justice, we are creating a masterpiece of your life through the power of non-reaction. Most people confuse indifference with passivity. They think that by not doing something, they are losing. But Stoic wisdom teaches us that indifference is the highest form of emotional discipline. It is the realization that your internal peace is too expensive to be traded for someone else's chaos. When you treat an insult or a betrayal with radiant indifference, you are performing a psychological coup. You are signaling to the world, and more importantly, to your own subconscious, that the other person simply does not have the clearance level to disturb your peace. In the American social hierarchy of 2026, those who cannot be moved are the ones who lead. While everyone else is busy explaining themselves or seeking closure, the sovereign man simply walks away. He understands that closure is something you give yourself, not something you beg for from the person who hurt you. The beauty of indifference is that it is unanswerable. You cannot argue with someone who isn't participating. You cannot hurt someone who doesn't feel the blow. By adopting the strategy of the void, you leave your detractors punching the air. They become exhausted by their own malice while you remain energized by your own progress. This is silent supremacy. It is the art of looking directly at someone who tried to destroy you and feeling absolutely nothing. No hate, no resentment, just a neutral acknowledgement of their existence, as one might look at a passing cloud. Hate is still a form of attachment. But indifference? Indifference is the ultimate divorce from the matrix. It is the moment you realize that the best way to avenge yourself is to be completely unlike the one who performed the injury. You are not just winning, you are evolving out of the game they are still desperately playing. Let us speak of the narcissistic feeding ground. The modern world is filled with individuals who live for the reaction. They provoke you because your anger is their fuel, it confirms their importance. To a manipulator, being hated is acceptable, but being ignored is a death sentence. When you apply strategic silence, you are cutting off their oxygen. You are refusing to be a source of supply. This is where the real revenge happens, not in a courtroom or a shouting match, but in the total erasure of their influence from your reality. When they look for a reaction and find only a blank, focused stare, their fragile ego begins to crumble under the weight of its own irrelevance. This is the shadow strike. You don't have to lift a finger, You simply have to exist in a state of unshakable self-worth that they can neither touch nor understand. This is the part of the journey where you must resist the lure of the last word. The ego wants to explain why it is leaving. It wants to deliver one final, crushing sentence. But the sovereign ghost knows that the last word is always silence. By leaving without an explanation, you create a haunting presence in their mind. They will spend years trying to decipher your silence, while you spend that same time building your empire. Your absence becomes a loud, permanent statement of their failure. In 2026, where every interaction is recorded and analyzed, a lack of data is the ultimate weapon. You are leaving them with a puzzle they can never solve. You are reclaiming the narrative of your life by refusing to let them write a single line in your final chapter. The most powerful response to a lie is the truth of your own growth, delivered without a single syllable. The true, silent revenge is not about what you do to them, it is about what you do for yourself. While they are busy checking your social media or asking mutual friends about your life, you must be deep in the alchemical fire of self-transformation. This is the ghost work. You disappear from the social radar to build your body, your mind, and your bank account. You work with such intensity that by the time you re-emerge, you are a different species. The person they hurt no longer exists. They are left holding a grudge against a ghost, while the new you is operating on a frequency they cannot even perceive. Success, delivered in total silence, is the only retaliation that leaves no scars on your own soul. It is clean. It is absolute. It is sovereign. In the high-stakes environment of modern success, focus is your most lethal asset. By redirecting the energy you would have spent on getting even into getting ahead, you accelerate your trajectory by a decade. You are using the fuel of their betrayal to power your own ascent. This is transmutation. You take the lead of their malice and turn it into the gold of your achievement. When the world eventually sees your success, they will wonder how you did it so quietly. They will look for the struggle, the complaints, the public battles, and they will find nothing but a track record of excellence. Your success will be a constant, stinging reminder to them of what they lost. It is a slow burn revenge that lasts a lifetime. You don't need to tell them you won, the world will do it for you while you are busy planning your next move. As we close this 59th transmission, I want you to take a sovereign vow. Vow to never again lower your frequency to meet the level of those who wish to see you fail. Understand that your life is a sacred project, and every second spent on petty resentment is a second stolen from your legacy. The art of silent revenge is actually the art of self-mastery. It is the moment you realize that you are too big for the smallness of their world. You look back at the people who tried to break you, not with anger, but with a profound, quiet gratitude, for they were the friction that sharpened your blade. They were the darkness that forced you to find your own light. You have ascended. You are no longer a victim seeking justice, you are a king who has already secured the victory. The Matrix is losing its grip on you because it can no longer predict your reactions. You have become the unshakable one. Carry this wisdom into the noise of the world. Silence is not an absence of sound, it is an abundance of power. Let your results speak so loudly that your words are unnecessary. Disappear into your greatness. Leave the past to the people who are stuck in it. You are a creature of the future, a master of the void, and a sovereign pilot of your own destiny. This is Christopher, signing off for the Silent Kings of 2026. The revenge is complete, not because they suffered, but because you flourished. Stay silent. Stay focused. Stay sovereign. The empire you are building in the shadows is about to become the sun that others orbit. Until the next chapter, remember, the best answer to an injury is to be nothing like the one who caused it. Farewell.